Welcome to my channel, to everyone who's new here, and of course for those of you who are back again, great to have you here. In this video we will take a look together at possible scenarios for the price development of SUI, Avalanche, HBAR and Dogecoin. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. So let's just start with SUI. We have said about SUI that we have here an inverted head and shoulders formatation which broke to the downside and got its retest. The target was the $3.56. But we also just took the length of one shoulder. So if we took the length of the whole head, then we can put it to the breakout point. We perfectly hit the target. So I can take this one out. It also worked pretty good. And we also had a huge fair value gap lower than $3.61. It goes down to $3.46. We closed most of it with this sell-off. So, we have talked about the bull flags yesterday because most coins are having a consolidation within a bull flag. We have also said that we might have to change it. I don't want to change it. Yeah, not for SUI because we didn't sell off that much. So we just got, if we go into the 4-hour chart, we just got wicks lower than the bull flag. Everything looks fine to me. Yeah, we also didn't count this wick, so we don't count this here as well. Everything looks good to me, and I think it is kind of positive that we broke out over the $3.80. That's an important key level to break. That's why this trend line is also green. So if we get a nice pullback, and if I see here a retest where we are over a longer time period there, then I'm going to get into my long position. And for SUI, it's going to be, let's say, very, very exciting, because it might be even possible that SUI can do, if we do it good, and if the chart is going to give us the perfect signals, that we can do a huge profitable trade. So my first trade I'm going to take at $3.80 once we get a retest. I would scale up once we break the white trend line over $3.95. You can also see it. I connected just the three tops with each other, so this trend line has 3 touch points. This price is also going to move over the time, depending on when we are going to break out. And the next breakout is going to be even more interesting. That's the $4.06. So if we get it set up like this, where we get again to $3.80 and I can open my long position. If we break out over the white trend line, get a nice retest, getting into my second long position, so doubling up my position size, breaking up over the bull flag, retesting it again, third time double up, and if we afterwards break the $4 and how much is it? The $4.25 to the upside as well, like this, and get a retest, then I can double up again. And doubling up always the position size and playing a bit with the profits. It happened to me once with Cardano, and I have done within a very short time period. It was, I think, 48 hours. I did a 20x on my initial capital because the setup was perfect. It's not like that I'm going into a trade with my whole portfolio and put in on top of that a 50x leverage. But I do a small portion, most likely 1% of my portfolio, and then I use a 25x leverage up to 100x leverage. But I have to do a video about that because the exchanges are going to, I don't want to say to scam you a bit, but once you use a 100x leverage, then you don't get liquidated. If the price drops 1%, you even get liquidated a bit earlier. I countered that. So basically, I will show you that in another video. But anyway, it happened with Cardano a few months ago. And basically a 20x on my initial capital is very good. Doesn't happen every day. You can also see the $4.25 is going to be the resistance, which I want to see breaking to the upside. And then I would even say we can get far higher prices. We have here on the upper left corner a purple box. This is the area between $6 to $8. And I think this is going to get very interesting for SUI getting there, and might be possible that we top out in that purple box. But first of all, let's focus on the $4.25 and with our setup until then. If we break it to the upside and if we see more chart patterns, then I want to see chart patterns directing us into that purple box. Anyway, so far everything looks good, unless we break the $3.56 to the downside. If yes, then we have something else ongoing and we have to track it afterwards, and the bull flag would get also invalidated. That's why I will make this trend line red for you guys. So, with that said, we can go into the next coin, Avalanche. And you will see that we have predicted the price movement very, very good. So far, we had a rising wedge, broke to the downside, got its retest, target, around about 23 US dollar. We also had here an head and shoulders formatation, broke to the downside, target $22.85. We had also close to it. Here was a very small fair value gap. That's why the $22.61 were our target. Everything happened. So everything is good. So I can delete the chart patterns out of the chart. They worked. So what next? I drew this here yesterday before we even got the sell-off. So my my speculation was that we sell off into the $22.61 and get a bounce there. And the bounce is incoming, like this. Afterwards, I think we are still going to get and see a pullback. Why that? Because we are going to get rejected and we don't have the strength to push in one way up. Yeah, it can still happen. Then we have to look for entries. But so far, this is what I expect. Getting into round about $25, sell off from there a little bit, forming a higher low. So this is a higher low to this one. And then I want to see a chart pattern or a resistance breaking to the upside to be long for Avalanche. And I've seen the first small possible chart pattern, which is this inverted head and shoulders formatation. So if it breaks to the upside, I'm not going to trade it, to be honest, because this is on the 50 minutes chart. The risk to reward ratio is not good in my opinion. Because if we break the $24.55 to the upside, we also have a resistance trend line at $25. If we get rejected there, where should I put my stop loss? My stop loss would be here. So we can just calculate it. So if we get our entry at $24.55, we have a potential of 3.4% with this chart pattern, but we can also lose 4%. So the risk to reward ratio is less than 1 to 1. I'm looking for at least 3 to 1 risk to reward ratio. And I even want to have 1 to 4, 1 to 6 ratio. Those are the profitable trades, not this one. That's why I take off my fingers from Avalanche. But if I see the bright blue trend line, which was our I don't want to say short trend line, yeah, because we didn't shorted it, but this was the sign that we should sell off. If we get a breakout over that, which is the price mark of 25 US dollar, then I would be in for a long trade for Avalanche. So if we break the inverted head and shoulders formatation to the upside and we go in one straight line over the $25, get our retest, then I'm in for a long position, because I think Avalanche has the good chance retesting the $26.88, which is a resistance. You can see it here, how often we got rejected. Here also one time, and close to it a second time. Here also close to it. So basically, if we break it to the upside, then this was a double or triple bottom pattern, doesn't matter. Both are having the same target. Once we break out $38.30. That is going to be the target once we break the $26.88 sustainable to the upside, but also make sure we have a fair value gap at $29 to $30.33. Here are the price marks. So I can imagine once we break the $26 and round about 90 cents to the upside, that we get into that area and get rejected again. And then we have to see if we find some chart pattern, like a falling wedge, which afterwards break to the upside, and then we can even have a good chance seeing the $38 for Avalanche. I don't have anything else to say about Avalanche, so let's wait, let's see. First key level, $25 to get into a long position in my opinion. This is also an upwards trend line. So, I have to delay this so I can show you that a bit better. So, $25. If we break it to the upside, get our retest, and I get into a long position over the time, if we get a consolidation, this is an upwards trend line. So, I can move my stop loss order lower than the trend line. And having a stop loss order lower than an uptrend line is going to be, first of all, we get into break even. Second of all, by replacing our stop loss order always lower than the bright blue trend line, we are going to be in profits, even with the stop loss order. So that's why I like this trend line as well. So I want to wait for the $25 breaking to the upside inclusively and retest. Then I'm in for a long trade for Avalanche. So let's move to HBAR. So what did we say about HBAR? I have said yesterday we have to wait a bit longer. We were, I don't know, I think we were somewhere here already. And I have said, wait a bit, we have a fair value gap lower than the bull flag. We should get there over the time. Yeah, for sure. We sold off a few hours after that. But anyway, we have formed a falling wedge in orange. The target of that orange falling wedge is going to be the 26.27 cents. But here you can see the green trend line, 25.75 cents. If we break that green trend line to the upside, then I would increase my position size for HBAR, because the next target is going to be the upper part of the bull flag. So I just take this price mark, move it more to the right side, because this is a bull flag. Over the time the price is going to move. So the target is going to be at round about 27 cents and 27.7 cents. If we break it to the upside, then I think the area between 31.8 cents to 34 cents is going to get very interesting, where we have resistance and where we have fair value gaps. And there I expect HBAR is going to top out and get into the fair value gaps, which we see lower than us. And you think this is not possible? Yeah, I have showed that in the Bitcoin update. Let's just jump into the Tesla stock. I know it's not a crypto, it's a stock, but it's a Magnificent 7 stock. So with a market capitalization of, I don't know, I think $2 billion, just sold off 10% today and has far more downside potential. So if we look into Tesla, which is a multi-billion company, you can see that 55% corrections are even possible for Tesla. And yes, you can say, okay, Elon Musk has some tweet wars with Donald Trump. No problem. This was this sell-off right here. So if we measure it, this was just minus 25%. What was right here? Minus 55%. So HBAR is not Tesla. HBAR is not a high market cap. If you compare it to Tesla, HBAR is nothing. It's a low market cap with, I think, a few billions. Like in German, billion is not the English billion. A billion in German means trillion in English. So basically, Tesla is a multi-trillion company, while HBAR just has a few billions in market capitalization. So basically, HBAR can have a correction of over 50%. Even Tesla got a 55% correction. So what I think is, what I have said here, 25.75. If it breaks to the upside, increasement of position size. If the 27.7 cents breaks to the upside, increasement of position size. And in the area between around about 32 to 34 cents, I want to be out of my HBAR trade, unless I have some other chart patterns directing me into higher prices. I don't see it at the moment, so basically this is going to be the area where I want to be out of an HBAR trade and probably look for some short positions. So what about Dogecoin? So we have said about Dogecoin that we might have to change the bull flag because I didn't like it as well. We just have one touch point on the upper part and we had a few touch points on the lower part. The lower part looked good to me, but we also have said we can sell off into 24 cents, which we did here, but we shouldn't get a sustainable breakout to the downside. And this candle here is not sustainable. Yeah, it's just a wick of a liquidation. Yeah, you know, many people are currently long. Here was also a fair value gap. So we just closed the fair value gap and can look for higher prices. So I have promised you we have to change the bull flag a little bit. So I would do it far more sharper. Maybe like this. And then we have to get this one up as well. So this also looks very interesting to me. It's not the best bull flag. I don't want to trade this bull flag as well because it is very sharp. But what I want to trade is the 26 cents. And let me take out the price marks here. And let me take out this here as well. This one here too. And this one too. And this one too. So basically what I have drew here before was that I want to see getting over the 26 cents. And with the breakout of the bull flag, we should see some nice price development. Because we have here also, similar to Avalanche, a double or triple bottom pattern. The target is going to be the 37.7 cents once we break the 26 cents sustainable to the upside. Also, we have resistance at 31.2 cents to 28.5 cents. This is also going to get interesting. If I make it longer, then you can also see we got perfectly rejected there. So, why did we see a breakout with a retest but still sold off? Because the whole crypto market was overheating and needed to get a correction. And most likely, bigger chart patterns are tending to get a breakout and afterwards still break again to the downside. Like this was the breakout. We even got the retest, but we still sell off one last time. And my hope is, that's why the bull flag is so sharp. By breaking out over the bull flag, which is very sharp, I don't want to trade the bull flag, but the bull flag might cause a breakout over the 26 cents. And you can also see that we have a cross right here. So if that cross breaks to the upside, I'm very, very confident that we are going to see a higher high than this one. It doesn't look much, but if we take it from 26 cents to the top, it's 10%. And if we get a higher high, even to the upper part of the box, it's 20%. And I don't want actually to count it to 37.7 cents because this is going to be a giant trade if we get there. So 44%. This is possible. And I think it is going to happen once we break the 26 cents to the upside. We have very good chances. Yeah, the whole crypto market looks very good to me. Very bullish. But we have to be slowly getting careful. It is not a one-way street. We are not going to pump to $10 for Dogecoin or $1 million for Bitcoin or $10 for XRP. Remember that everyone is currently very happy about the crypto market. Everyone is hyping it a lot. I see it with my clicks, like my clicks on YouTube are significantly higher than in the past month. I see it myself. Which I think is kind of good because here you get some fundamental analysis, in my opinion, a good technical analysis. But I want to warn you, don't trust people on YouTube, not even me. Yeah, ask everything. If you have any kind of questions, you have the comment section. You can write me there, and I will try to answer you as fast as possible and as detailed as possible. If you want to know why is going to be that, why that, ask me, I will answer you that. But be careful of people who are overhyping the crypto market. To be honest, I don't see XRP at $10 in this cycle. We have defined this cycle. What is this cycle? Is this cycle going to be the next push and correction, and afterwards the cycle is done? Or are we talking about a 10 or 20 years cycle? People are not going to tell you that. Yeah, they don't know it themselves. So here you can see we have some chart patterns, so some kind of evidence. If we break it to the upside, then you have my targets, and I will give my best to inform you if I see something better to trade, or if I see something like a fake out. Yeah, we also have the community posts on my channel where I warn everyone. We have our targets for sure, but sometimes we get some significant candles with a huge fair value gap, and then I want to be out of the trade before we even reach the 38 cents, because the market is overheating and can always sell off. Then I keep you informed with my community posts. I did it a few times in the past, and it was a good choice in my opinion. So basically, thank you for watching, and we see each other in the Render, Tau, Kaspa and ONDO update, and I will release that update in round about 1.5 hours. So see you then.